I should have been out of the maze hours ago, but every path I take just loops me back to that same scarecrow. And now, it's not standing where I left it. It started off like every other small-town Halloween. The air smelled like kettle corn and damp hay. The fairgrounds buzzed with music, laughter, and the sound of cheap animatronics groaning on repeat. I wasn't planning to go, honestly. I'm 26, too old to be wandering around cornfields chasing thrills meant for kids. But my friend Ashley convinced me. "You've got to live a little," she said. They redid the corn maze this year. New theme, the Harvest of Shadows. Creepy, right? It wasn't just a maze. It was an experience. Actors dressed like farmers and scarecrows jumped out at you. Fog machines hissed in the distance. Strings of orange lights lined the first few paths, and they flickered with that nostalgic Halloween glow. The first few turns were easy. Groups of teenagers were ahead of us, laughing and screaming when one of the actors popped out from the corn. Everything was normal, but around 11:45, the laughter thinned out. People were leaving. The music from the fairground faded, replaced by the low rustle of corn in the wind. By the time I checked my phone, it was 11:58. Ashley was gone. I thought she'd gone ahead, maybe found the exit. But when I called her name, the only thing that answered was the rustling corn. I told myself not to panic. The maze wasn't that big. I could just follow the orange lights back to the entrance. But as I turned the corner, something changed. The lights flickered once, twice, and then went dark. My phone flashlight barely cut through the fog. The stalks towered over me, and the air got colder, damp, heavy, like breathing through cloth. That's when I noticed the scarecrow. It stood a few feet ahead, right in the middle of the path. Old overalls, a burlap sack for a head, a crooked smile stitched into its face. I laughed nervously. "Nice touch," I muttered. "Real creative." Except it wasn't there earlier. And the thing was, the ground beneath it wasn't trampled. The corn wasn't bent. It was like it had just appeared. I took a step back. Then creak. Somewhere in the corn, a wooden post shifted. I turned, shining my light into the stalks. The rows swayed slowly, even though the air had gone still. Then I heard it, a voice. Faint, female, calling my name. Ryan. Ashley. Or at least it sounded like her. I ran toward the voice. The corn slapped against my arms and face as I pushed through. But every turn looked the same. Endless golden walls under a flat, dead sky. "Ashley!" I yelled. No answer. Then I saw the light ahead, a faint orange glow. Relief flooded through me. The exit lights. I sprinted toward it, bursting through the last row of corn, and froze. It wasn't the exit. It was a clearing. At the center stood a small wooden cart piled high with candy buckets and old masks, like offerings. And around it, arranged in a perfect circle, were 6 scarecrows, all facing inward, except one. One was facing me. I swear to you, its head turned. Slowly. The burlap creaked as it shifted, the stitched smile stretching wider than before. That's when I noticed something hanging from its sleeve, a neon wristband. Ashley's. I stumbled backward, my heart pounding so hard I could barely breathe. The scarecrows creaked. Not all at once, but one by one, like a chain reaction. Each wooden post twisting slightly in the dirt, their heads tilting toward me. The corn began to whisper. I don't mean rustling, I mean whispering. Dozens of voices murmuring just beyond hearing, overlapping like wind through teeth. Then footsteps. Heavy, slow, deliberate. I bolted. The maze twisted in impossible ways. Paths I knew by heart were gone. My flashlight sputtered, cutting in and out. Every time it flickered, the Scarecrow was closer. First behind me, then beside me, then in front. I swung the light up just in time to see its hand move. The burlap split, revealing pale fingers underneath. Human fingers. I screamed and ran, crashing through the corn. My jacket tore on the stalks, my lungs burning. Then I saw something ahead, a gap in the rows, lit by a dull red light. The exit. I threw myself forward and hit a wall of corn. No, not corn. Canvas. A wall of burlap stretched across the path, stitched together like skin. And through the seams, I could see faces. Their mouths moved, but their eyes were sewn shut. When I woke up, it was morning. The sun was up, and the maze was quiet again. No fog, no scarecrows, just an empty field and a few muddy footprints leading back to the parking lot. The staff found me wandering along the road, shaking, half delirious. They said the maze closed at midnight sharp. They said no one named Ashley bought a ticket. They even checked the security footage. It showed me entering the maze alone. No one else was there. But here's the thing. When I got home, I emptied my pockets. And there, stuck to the lining of my jacket, was a single corn husk, wrapped tightly around a tiny scrap of burlap, stitched with the name Ryan. The maze does close at midnight. It just doesn't let everyone leave.